Dream I had was a persecution dream, and so it's me and my sister and my cousin, and we're on our knees, and it's this man. He's pointing a gun at us, and there's other people, like other men surrounding us. I know they have a gun on us, and he has a gun on us, and I know he's about to shoot us, and then he's not saying.
Until recently, because people's patience is beginning to wear thin after 3 years. Yeah. And also, the pandemic has been morphing into a kind of endemic, the death rate, even though, of course, there are obvious deaths, even for ordinary flu, there is a rate of death. But then compare
this dream. So I wrote down 3 topics I want to touch on. So I'm at my house, and I look outside, and there's hundreds of men. They're dressed up, you can't see their face, or they're dressed up. They look like army, some type of army or military, and they're assembled 1, 2, and 3. They're it's just so much of them. They're just going down the streets, down the street. I don't know how to explain it. They're marching like a band. You know how a band are assembled? They're like a band, and they're army people or some type of military, and they're just walking in sync. They're walking. I can't see their face or anything. So I just have that dream repeatedly. But the sense I get from seeing them, it's not a good feeling about them. This dream. So I wrote down 3.
And we ended up finding this little market that had food, and so I was oh, thankfully, and thankfully I found somewhere to find food. At this point I was willing to steal food because there was no food, and so but I brought my debit card for some reason, and I remember I was trying to get food, and there was Asian soldiers they were there guarding the market. They were not allowing people to get food for some reason. I don't know why they were there. It looked like there were soldiers from a different country that were not from the United States. And so I was telling, there was a lady that was working with them, and she was translating for us, and she was saying I'm not gonna let you guys get any food, you know, you guys. I told her I have money, I can pay for it, I just need food because there's.
And so I remember I was at one end of the store trying to get different food, and my sister was near the clothes on the other side, and then all of a sudden I got so scared because I heard marching, and I look out the windows of this building, and there's whole bunch of military, and it wasn't U.S. military. It was it was so scary. It was a whole different military, and they started loading their weapons, and they were getting ready to shoot everyone in the store. And then I remember the guards that were letting us in, that told us we had a time limit, were wait, just give them trying to bargain with them, just let him leave, and they said no, and they basically wanted to just kill all of us. And I remember running to my sister, trying to protect her, and don't move, I think they're gonna shoot us. And they just didn't care.
I want to caution you to begin to watch for nuclear war to begin, because those are the 2 things that were significant to me in the dream. At the time that I heard the warning of nuclear war, people had already been in a position of panic buying and hoarding. So I wanted to share that with you. Be on watch. Nuclear war will happen. America's days are numbered and judgment is at hand. I want to caution you right now because things are changing and Jesus is coming quickly to get your spiritual house in order. Look up, lift up your eyes, fix your eyes on Jesus. Get your heart right with God. Be washed in the blood of the Lamb. Have your garments spotless, white as snow. Become an overcomer through faith in Jesus Christ. Because I'm telling you, He is coming for His people, and you want to be ready when He does come. He loves you, but you must trust in Him and trust in His blood alone. There is no other answer for your salvation but the blood of Jesus Christ.
Hello YouTube, this is Latia for you. I'm just coming to you with a very urgent word. prophecy dream, whatever this was. Last night I had a very troublesome dream. I wasn't afraid in the dream at all, which is very important, but I just want to let you know that yeah, we're gonna be invaded at some point in the future, and it's gonna be, they're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be like, we think we're so invisible, and you know, because we have weapons and stuff like that, especially as individuals. And I'm a person who was in the military, so I kind of have that invincibility thing going on too. Like, oh, they're not gonna invade us. Oh, please believe. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're gonna be invaded with their old little Kalashnikovs and all of that stuff. They're gonna be everywhere. And yeah, if you think you're invisible just because you have a couple weapons at home and oh, you're gonna defend to the end, okay, well then defend to the end. But I'm telling you, we're about to be invaded. And the one person in my family who I know has lots of weapons, in this dream, that person was asleep the entire time. Like, and I want you guys to know that God is real, and it's time to get yourself right with him. It's not time to prepare and dig in holes and dig in basement shelters and all of that stuff. You need to be repenting and making sure that you are right with the Lord, so that when he comes, you can go with him and you don't have to sit and take all of this and deal with all of this. In the dream, I can't really go through the whole dream because all I remember is it happened more like a vision, even though it happened at night, like when I was sleeping, just like normal, just like if I was having a dream. But for some reason, when I'm thinking back on it, it looks like a vision, because there's no linear like dream sequence. It's just, these are the things that I saw. I saw myself trying to drive, but for some reason I couldn't drive. I was walking, so like every road that I was trying to go down, I saw helicopters, choppers, like, and they weren't our people, they were another country. And so I saw them, the soldiers, marching down the street, kind of going after people. They were not shooting at everybody, and I had the feeling that they wanted to minimize conflict. And that lets me know that this is true, because like, we have lots of guns here, so they don't know who they're going to be popping off with. It's going to be a lot of insurgency if someone came to invade us. So it seemed like they were trying to minimize conflict, like they were trying to get people to go back in their houses or something like that. And I tried to go down the street, and like helicopters came over that area, soldiers start marching down that area, and I turned to go somewhere else, because I mean, and this part makes sense too, because America is big. So like, there are going to be lots of places where they are not, but they're going to be like, I feel like it's going to be major cities and major areas. They're going to be there. And so I don't know that. I'm just telling you, in the dream, that was the feeling, like there were places that I could run. So I ran down one road, and then there were people gathering at a mall. They were all in the mall, and they were trying to make a plan or something like that. And another place that they were trying to make a plan was like at a university. I saw a university. I saw people trying to act like business as usual and trying to go to school and do their normal thing, but it was nothing normal about this. So, you know, I just want to put the word out there. I've never had a dream like that of well, I've had dreams of like things that I thought might have been an invasion, but this is not a normal dream that I would have. So I saw soldiers. I saw a clear invasion in America. This was nowhere else. This was America.
I had a dream January 14, 2022. I saw what looked like a national science contest. High school students and college students were flocking the registration tables near a park. There were so many, they were starting to push and shove. The prize was something really big. Everyone wanted it. I also noticed that the majority of the population that was there were African American and Latino descent. Then I heard those organizing the event say that contestants needed to line up, raise their IDs as they were taking their pictures. Then I saw myself do it. After everyone was registered, President Biden came out and said, "There's no contest or prize. This is a draft, and you are going to serve your country in the area of expertise." Then I heard a voice say, "We need fluent Spanish and French speakers." And they started to pass roll call of every person who was fluent in those languages. I saw what looked like a French girl or student, and she seemed scared. She spoke with a French accent and said, "But I don't want to go to war." All the students that were there started to complain because they were tricked. Those who were strong academically served in the government and in science labs, and I saw that those who were athletic or had little to no academic background, they went to war as soldiers. I woke up from the dream very disturbed, and I asked God if this was coming to America. This is a message that I've kept because I didn't know what to do with it, and I prayed about it. And so I felt that I needed to wait for the right time. And just a few weeks ago, I felt led to release it. I hope that this is a heed of warning to our country, to America, and to the world for what is coming. I do believe that the Lord gives us warnings so that we can provide comfort to others and not to get them riled up and scared, but to let them know what is about to happen.
I usually don't make this type of video, and I'm really hoping this will be the last time, but I need to tell you guys the dreams I had this morning. So I had two dreams, and the first dream, I dreamed that I was living in my past college dorm, and if you know anything about living in college dorms, you know that the fire alarm goes off all the time for the dumbest reasons, and it's usually never serious, like someone burnt their ramen noodles or something, right? So in this dream, I was living in my old dorm, and the fire alarm went off, so everyone kind of rolled their eyes like, oh, here we go again, and we went outside to evacuate, and usually they just let us back in quickly, right? But we were waiting outside for a while, and I went to the fireman, and I asked him, like, what's going on? Why aren't we going in? And he looked at us, he's like, no, this is a real fire, and the fire's spreading quickly. At that moment, we kind of had this realization, like, oh, this is not a false alarm. This is serious. And we started to panic, because if you're a student, you know that your life is basically in that laptop, in that backpack, and we left all our school supplies in our dorms because we thought we could go back in. So I started praying to God, like, Lord, please stop this fire, because our lives are there. And as I was praying in a dream, I had this sense that an evil spirit started this fire on purpose. Like, this fire was on purpose, right? That was the end of the first dream. Woke up for a second and then went back to sleep. And this is my second dream. So my second dream, I dreamed that me and my family were eating at this like dining hall restaurant kind of place, and the walls were made of concrete, it's pretty stable, but there were windows, and all of a sudden we started hearing booming and then screaming from outside. Kind of like boom, screams, boom, screams. And it shook like the building, right? So I decided to open the door to check out what's happening. And when I looked outside, I saw warplanes flying down, bombing the city. And buildings were on fire and people were running out of the buildings, but they ran and jumped into the water, because if you run out of buildings, you're a target. The plane started to shoot down at the water people. So there was no mercy. Like, they were looking for everyone. It didn't matter what political party you were. It didn't matter. They wanted to kill you. I went back in the restaurant and I didn't have control of my mouth, but words spoke out of me saying, Russia is attacking the US. So me and the people in the restaurant basically turned off the lights, put the blinds on the windows, and basically hid under the tables, and we could hear the bombing from outside. We kind of had this realization of, kind of like in this first stream, like, oh, this is serious. This isn't a false alarm. I do not know what city it was at, and I don't know when this will happen. But please, today, if you're a believer, get on your hands and knees and pray for this nation, that this nation will repent. Because we are looking at...
Hello everyone, I wanted to come on here and share a dream that I had on November 14th of this year, 2022. And I felt the need to share this because there have been other believers from across this nation who have messaged me to share their dream that was just like mine. It is the same theme and all. And so the only logical explanation to this is that when God prophesied that in the last days, He shall pour out His Holy Spirit upon all flesh, He was telling the truth. Remember, God is not a liar, and I believe that that is happening right now. And so I'm going to tell you guys about the dream. I wrote it down on a piece of paper so that way I can have all the details and share them with you. So here it is. USA East Coast Dream, November 14th, 2022. I had a dream early in the morning of the East Coast of the United States. It was like a map of the East Coast. And so all of a sudden, a black line appears on the coast from the northern state, which was Maine, all the way down to the southern state, which is Florida. Then the coastal line started to split or like disappear before my eyes. So the part where, and I'm going to show you what that look, actually right here, what that looks like. That was the black line that appeared in my dream. And so the part that's closest to the water here, all of this from Maine all the way to Florida, like literally disappeared. It looked like it was splitting first and then it just disappeared, like it was just no more. And after that, I started feeling water come up onto my feet. There was water rushing into my feet, and I knew that this was a warning. This is not the crazy part of the dream yet. Before I woke up, I heard a voice, an audible voice, tell me 4 more months. 4 more months. And then I woke up. I prayed. I asked God to confirm if this was Him. We always need to bring every dream or vision that we believe is from Him. We need to bring it to God. And I had a conversation with a believer in Arizona, and they had asked me, have you seen the video that I posted last night? And I said, no. And lo and behold, they were talking about a prophecy that God had given them about a tsunami coming to the East Coast of the United States of America. The same night I had my dream. Coincidence? I think not. I have had multiple believers, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, tell me that they have had dreams of the East Coast of the United States flooding. I don't know what had caused it. It was just a line that appeared, and then the whole East Coast from Maine all the way to Florida was gone. I don't know if it was a nuclear bomb. I don't know if it was an asteroid. All I know is there was a specific time given to me, 4 months as of November 14th of this year. Please bring this to God. Please ask God for discernment. I gain nothing from lying to you guys. I know that God is going to hold me accountable at the end of my life when it comes to these dreams. What did you do with the dreams I gave you? And I just want to make sure that I share this because this is a dire warning. If God is leading you to move out of the East Coast, if that is where you live, then perfect, fine. I know many people don't feel prompted to, but I know I do, especially after this dream. I know many people will.